So it's now 11:10 a.m. or 11:30 a.m. on Thursday, the 27th of April 2017, and we're at the front of the Vidin Synagogue in Vidin in northeast Bulgaria. It's a lovely day. It's about 17 degrees. The sun is shining. The birds are tweeting next to the park. And we're going to do a little tour of the synagogue, just a 5-minute tour with this video, as a follow-up to our visit to the Vidin cemetery yesterday. The synagogue, the grounds are okay. There's a fence around here. Say hello, Caroline. And there's a fence that you can get in pretty easily. So it's just a mock fence. I'm going to go to the front of the synagogue. And it's in pretty bad condition, obviously, but it's got a certain appeal. You can see the Star of David there on the left-hand side. The synagogue's got a certain appeal in its decrepit state, with the vines and the ivy growing on it. Obviously it needs a lot of work, but I believe it could be restored. So we're going in the centre of the synagogue now. You'll see there's lots of graffiti. But overall, the synagogue can be restored. It's structurally sound. It was built obviously pretty strongly. These metal beams are they're very strong, and the synagogue can definitely be resurrected. It looks like there's been some sort of modern work done. There's some modern stairs that have been built. But you can see it's a beautiful synagogue. Apparently it was designed in keeping with the Budapest synagogue, which is the biggest synagogue in Europe. There's these beautiful windows. The lattice work is beautiful. There may have been stained glass windows there before. You can see the arches. Obviously there's a lot of growth in the gardens here, so it needs a lot of work. But perhaps it could be restored with some sort of garden area. It could be a practicing, servicing synagogue with also a museum or a history centre, with also maybe a cafe in the front yard, with the local Bulgarian ladies providing food. So it could be a mixture of things, like the Etzayim synagogue in Hania in Crete, sort of a tourist centre which can help Bulgaria, help the Jews, and also help tourism in the area. Obviously it's going to need a lot of work, but there could be some plan and vision for it. But, it's a very beautiful site. The actual place needs a lot of work. We'll go outside and continue. But it's in a nice setting. You've got the park next door, which is a nice park. You've got the river, the Danube River, very close. It's close to the main city, the town, so there's lots of things to see. And I'll go outside and you can see the outside area. So my view is that it could be a centre, and if it costs €1 million to restore it, then if you've got 20,000 new tourists to Vidin a year, each spending €300 over a 1 or 2 night stay, then that's basically $3 million of income, which comes into the town. It's also the multiplier effect. So the funding's either got to come from the Bulgarian government or the Bulgarian Ministry of Tourism, or a wealthy Jewish group or person who's prepared to join the vision and to restore the place. Now, if you restore, you've got to sort of do both. You've got to do the synagogue and also the cemetery. They both need to be restored. you can't sort of do one without the other. Obviously the synagogue is the most priority, but the cemetery also needs to be restored. So say a $2 million fund for both, for the restoration, and you're going to need ongoing maintenance. So you need a caretaker here, you need some security cameras, same with the cemetery, that costs money. So looking at a 30-year plan, or a 33-year plan, let's assume you spend maximum of $500,000, say $250,000 a year on staff, maintenance, etc. Maybe $500,000 on both the cemetery and the synagogue. You're looking at $15 million plus the initial $2 million. So it's about $17 million over 33 years until 2050. Now, if you get an extra 10,000 tourists on average a year to Vidin, and also to visit the synagogue and the cemetery, but also to see other places in Vidin, then that's $3 million a year, €3 million a year. Over 33 years, that's $99 million, plus the multiplier effect. It's a good investment. So the synagogue becomes a place that basically it's build it and they will come. You make it a beautiful place. At night you can have beautiful lighting, change the lighting on each night so that different nights it looks different. You could have functions here, services, the cafe, the restaurant. You make it a beautiful little sanctuary in Vidin, and it gets restored. You're respecting the memory of the dead. The synagogue was built in 1894. It was a pride for the Vidin people, and why can't it be restored once again? It becomes a beautiful centre, an addition to Vidin and Bulgaria. So that's what I think should happen with it. I think it's got potential. I think it's a beautiful setting. Even in winter, if it was snowing, it would be very pretty. If you can somehow incorporate the gardens and the open sky, and leave some of leave partly the decrepit state of the synagogue, but also add things to make it structurally sound and functional, you can come up with some sort of balance. So I'll sign off here. I hope and pray that this synagogue is restored and it becomes a monument and a sanctuary for Vidin and Bulgaria. So we're now inside the synagogue, and we're going to go up the stairs. Hopefully it's safe, but we're going to check what it looks like on the upper level. So Caroline's going to go first, because in Brazil, in the Amazon, they send the women and the children across the rivers first. So if the piranhas get them, then the women and children die first. So Caroline's going to go first.
Yeah, it's a bit scary. I don't know if it's going to stay the stairs.
You film the window, Caroline?
It's not going to collapse?
No, it's quite structurally sound, so it looks like it's quite strong. These stairs, they've been restored. It's like a concrete. We'll continue.
Yeah.
We don't want to die at the synagogue, that would be quite a problem.
It's very scary.
We're now on the highest level.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure whether there were services here or anything else, so we'll do a bit of a walk around. So I'll go first, Carrot. You film the floor, Carrot, and here.
Why don't you film yourself? You have done? Yeah, I saw the metal thing.
Film the roof, Carrie.
But there's no roof, what you're talking about?
Where the roof was. So basically you can see it needs a huge amount of work, obviously, but it looks structurally sound. The actual supports and the base and the struts, I'm not an engineer or an architect, but it looks structurally sound to me, so it can be resurrected. Obviously a good engineer, a good architect with a project manager could restore the place, but you know, it is a beautiful site. And even up here the view's nice. You can see the gardens and things, maybe have seats up here as well. So it needs a lot of work, but it can be done. the vision is here. So we'll sign off. I'll film Caroline. Say hello.
Okay, we're done.
Stay there, Caro. In the middle. This is Caroline Halfon at the synagogue. Actually, go in the sun over there, Caro. Over there. No, don't go too close to the edge. We want Caroline over the edge.
Don't move the thing.
Over there.
It's not straight.
Okay, over here. No, come over here. Over there, in the sun, please.
Hello.
Says Caro in the sun. Say hello.
I said hello.
Do a blessing for the shore. Can you sing a song? Amamim.
No, I can see.
No, Amamim.